Hello, everyone. It is Tiffany, and I've got my little helper Harper with me
A mini me.
today, my little mini me. And since it is St. Patrick's Week, or St. Patrick's Day this week, I thought that I would talk a little bit about St. Patrick and actually who he was and how that relates to our lives today. So, happy St. Patrick's Day. And for a lot of us, we may celebrate, we may not celebrate. It is an Irish holiday for most people, so sometimes it's not a hugely celebrated holiday for us. You may have on green today. You may not even know why you're wearing green today. So, we're going to talk a little bit about St. Patrick and actually his true story and some things that we can learn from St. Patrick.
You
Okay?
have to wear green tomorrow.
So we got to wear green on St. Patrick's Day, don't
Yeah,
we?
because the leprechaun's gonna pinch you.
So, it's really interesting to children as to what St. Patrick's Day is actually about, and they typically only know the wearing green and some leprechauns and maybe some little four-leaf clovers and pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So it's kind of interesting to or the perspective of children. But actually, what St. Patrick's Day is all about is sharing and spreading the good news. So we're going to talk about a little bit about St. Patrick as he was a child. So, can you imagine being a young boy, very young boy, and one day you get captured by pirates and you are taken away from your land and taken away from your family, and you're taken to a land where there are some very mean people, and you no longer have a normal life, and you become a slave and you have to work for somebody. And that's what happened to St. Patrick. He was a young kid and kidnapped, and he was taken to a land called Ireland, which is where Irish people are, and we still have a country of Ireland. And that's where he was taken. And a long time ago, Ireland was not a nice place. There was some very mean people there. And so they took young children to become slaves. And St. Patrick actually was a slave for several years of his life. As a young child and growing up into his teenage years, he was a slave. And one day, he did escape. One day, he escaped and he returned to his home, which was in England. That was his home. And so he ran. He ran away, and he knew that there was a better life, and he wanted to return home to his country and to his people, and that's what he did. However, after he got back home to his country, of course, he was very excited to be home. He did not want to go back to see those bad people that had kidnapped him and those people that had treated him so bad for so many years. But God had a different plan for him. And so God called him to be a missionary. And do you all know what a missionary is? A missionary is someone who spreads the good news, spreads the gospel. And that's what God was calling St. Patrick to do. And guess where he needed to go? Back to that country of Ireland, back to those bad people that had treated him horribly. And can you imagine going back to a place like that? That was the last place that he wanted to go. He did not want to do that. He did not want to go back to that place. He had horrible memories of things that had happened to him there, and that was not what he wanted to do. But God had called him to become that missionary for these Irish people. He wanted to spread Christianity to those people. Those people needed to hear the good news, to spread the gospel of Jesus. And that's exactly what St. Patrick did. And because he obeyed and because he listened, he led those Irish people to Christianity. And so by obeying and listening, it actually turned out to be a good thing and not a bad thing for St. Patrick. And so St. Patrick's story reminds us of just the simple concepts that the gospel is for everybody, and that if we obey and do as God would want us to do, then things usually work out for the good of all people. And so today I encourage you on this St. Patrick's Day to share the good news of Jesus and be like St. Patrick and, become a missionary if God is calling you to do that. And, a lot of you may grow up and go to school and go to college and get a job, maybe, outside of church. But some of us may be called to do work in our church, whether that be the worship leader or the outreach leader or youth leader, all these people that we have in our church that are so good to work and to do things just like St. Patrick that God has called. So I challenge you today to spread the good news. And in Mark, there's a Bible verse that I want you to remember. In Mark chapter 16, the Bible verse says, "He said to them, 'Go into all the world and spread the gospel to all creation.'" The gospel is for everyone. Good people, bad people, all people. And so St. Patrick was a little afraid because he didn't want to go back to the bad people. He didn't want to go back to the bad place that he had spent so many years as a slave, but he did. He obeyed and he went back. And if he had not have gone back, who knows how things would have turned out. And so he spread the good news. And he did something really great for the people in Ireland. So today, as you are wearing your green and maybe you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day, share the good news of Jesus and spread the gospel to all the people, whether it be at school or at home or to your neighbor or whoever it may be. Be like St. Patrick today and share the good news. I hope you all have a great week and you have a blessed St. Patrick's Day. So remember, go into all the world and spread the good news of Jesus.